Welcome back, guys. Back on the AutoCat, and today we're going to try pulling off the transmission side of things here. We're gonna get the drive belt off and all that stuff, and hopefully figure out how to get to the timing chain. So let's get going on that now, and hopefully we'll have some good luck here. All right, so I already took the battery box out, and I'm trying to figure out how such a poor design. And you can see the previous owner put those two holes there, and it had, you know, he had the positive coming out of one side, the negative coming out of the other, and he was just leaving the battery right there. And I think that was just for ease of disconnecting, because it really is difficult to get the battery in and out of this box. And the starter solenoid is connected here. The fuse panel is connected here, and the CDI was here, and then down here on the side was a refractor for charging system. And taking this in and out, I don't think it's how you're supposed to do it, but I think that's what the previous owner thought. And I just noticed that there's one screw here on this panel here, and I think if you bring the dump body up, you access the battery through the wheel well, and it's not that, shouldn't be that difficult, because when this is in the ATV like that, you can see that this is wide open, so you can slide the battery in and out here through the wheel well. I don't think the previous owner realized that. That's why he did that. But no big deal. We'll set it back up the way it's supposed to be, and I'll clean that all up and paint it, because it's starting to get a little rusty. And we'll put it back in. But from what you can see here, here's the fuse panel, the refractor, the CDI, and the solenoid is over here, which I disconnected. And there's extra positive cables and stuff. We'll reroute everything right. This is the copper line connected to the breather. You can see here that it is all dry checked and no good. And this goes all the way out the back. We're going to get rid of all that. We shouldn't have massive blow-by anymore. Now that we have a new top end. So what we're going to get going on here now is getting the belt off. Now, from what I understand, you take one of the side cover bolts, and the side cover's right here. I did get it with the machine, but it wasn't on there. Probably wasn't a good idea to drive this like that, but whatever. It is what it is. And one of the side bolts goes in here, and supposedly, when you tighten it, it pushes the back disc in so that you can get this belt off. So let's see if that actually works. I was hoping to avoid that, but I guess I can't. I gotta take the floor out. Alright guys, the floor's out. Take a look here. And it's the only way to get in there. This is quite a job, actually. It's quite messy. I'd like to take this outside and clean it before I put it back together. That's probably what I'm gonna do. Yeah, let's see if we can slide this thing up right now. Alright, so we got a few things to take off anyway. To get that to come off of there. Alright. I think next we need to take the breather vent off top here. One, two, two or three of them on the outside here, down the bottom. Alright guys, the side cover's off. As you can see, there's quite a bit of debris on top of the motor. I'm going to vacuum all that off so none of it falls inside, hopefully. That's the wet clutch. I don't know if they call that the primary. And the secondary clutch is the centrifugal. I think that's what they call it. But, God, this thing is grooved. Something fierce. So I am going to assume that it needs a new wet clutch. I mean, what the heck? I'm this far in. I might as well put a new clutch in it. Hopefully, the clutch and the clutch basket there are not significantly expensive. But as I'm finding for this 650 H1 AutoCAD, there's no aftermarket parts for this at all. So you have to buy everything OEM, and they're pricey. So I'm gonna get the vacuum out. And like I said, I'm going to clean all this stuff up top there, rat poop or whatever that stuff is. I'm going to pull this thing out of the way, set it aside, and we'll come back when I start pulling the gasket and that wet clutch. Hey guys, here in the Northeast, it's the day after Christmas, and it is unusually warm today. It's like almost 60 degrees, which is very unusual for us in the Northeast. Anyways, I figured I'd take some time and wash some of this stuff. And I cleaned the floor up really nice. I cleaned up the battery tray, the seat support, and this was underneath the cowl, covered the fuse panel. I washed that, and I cleaned the air intake for the, actually the vent for the CVT transmission. And all those leaves, all of them, were inside that. So that leads me to believe that the rest of the ductwork probably had a squirrel living in there or something, and we're gonna have to figure that I gotta clean that all out once I get the engine assembled before we start running it. That's a lot of leaves to get down inside of that. Maybe that could just gonna fall in there from a tree. Those were put in there by something. All right, let's head back inside. I vacuumed out most of the dirt and debris, as you can see here. Let me fire one of these lights up. You can see it's pretty clean in here now. I got all the rat poop and everything out of here. I wiped down what I could. I guess moving forward, we need to take that wet clutch out of there. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh, I'll show you what I did under here. Underneath the cowl, well, I had to vacuum out. I vacuumed it all out, cleaned, got everything out of there. It was full of leaves and pine needles and stuff, so I vacuumed it all out. And that cover goes, actually the cover goes over the master cylinder that's outside. I'm going to clean this all up really good right now. I think I'm going to use some tire shine, make this thing look brand new, and then close the lid because we won't be back in here until it's done. But I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. Hey guys, here's the tub. Looks brand new. And all I did was just vacuum it out and put tire shine on it, and it looks brand new. And you know, when I go to sell this and I open up the hood and I show them the storage under here and they see how nice it is, it's going to be a selling point for sure. Alright, let's move on to something more mechanical. Here's the wet clutch. Alright, now we can get that timing chain out of there. Look at this timing chain. Look at how kinked it is. I don't think I've ever seen a timing chain that bad. Well, we're going to replace it for sure, because that chain is no good. Alright guys, I'm going to just stick a magnet down inside the engine here. See if I come up with anything metal. Nope, don't look like it. There's the bottom of the crankcase right there. And nothing. That is good news. Let's pull this off of here. We'll just throw that aside for now. It looks like it's been leaked. The gasket down here has been leaking for a long time. Everything looks pretty good in there. It's really hard for me to move you guys around, but I'll give you guys a good look at that. Everything looks fantastic in there. I don't see any issues at all with any of it. So I think we just give it a quick clean. I got to order a timing chain and a primary clutch. So let me get on the internet, find out what those are going to cost. Let's take a peek at this primary clutch, shall we? Well, anyways, that's a clutch. And I don't know if you guys can see down inside of here, but man, is that grooved. I don't know if it's supposed to be grooved or not. I'm going to look it up. I'm assuming that it's not supposed to be. Oh, you guys can see that. Wow. Tell you what, guys, do me a favor. If anyone knows anything about these type of transmissions here, I don't think it's supposed to be grooved like this, even though these are grooved. I mean, you can see that these are discs. Oh, they look like they're almost down to the metal. I think they are down to the metal, pretty close to it. This one here is, for sure, right there. That's down to the metal. So isn't that one. So this clutch is spent. And I'm assuming this is too. I wonder how you get that out of there. What if this just pops out? Wiping this out of here so it doesn't make a mess. Alright. I mean, this will all get cleaned up before I assemble it anyway, but that's just good for now. Now, let's see. There's a way to get that out of here. The one-wave clutch fell out. Let's put that in there so it doesn't get damaged or lost. There's plenty of oil in there too, I see. That bearing is growly. That bearing needs to be replaced. Boy, is that growly. How do you get it apart though? That's the question. That is the question. There seems to be a steel down in there too. I'm thinking it's got to come out. There it goes. Guess I was right. Alright, we got all kinds of stuff falling apart here. Alright, what's that? It's got an O-ring in it. Oh, that bearing is done. D-O-N-E. Alright, we're going to try to pound that out. There we go. the bearing. And it's a bit on the growly side. We're going to replace it. So the repairs on this are getting to be more and more by the minute. And that's how the seal goes in like that. So let's just let's pop that out of there. There we go. And of course we're going to need a new seal. Alright, looks like we got a lot of cleaning up to do on this thing. That's for sure. Alright. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just clean this up with some simple green. And I'm just going to spray it. Spray it up a little bit. Give it a quick clean. Try to get some of the heavy stuff off. I mean, there's some real heavy stuff on this. I mean, look at that stuff. Just dirt and oil that's been mixing together for who knows how long. All this stuff's got to come out. This is when you wish you had a parts washer. I mean, you really. We'll get it clean. As you can see now, it's getting better. I'm going to continue this process, and we'll come back when I'm done. I cleaned this up pretty good, as you guys can see. I think right now what I want to do is I want to clean up these surfaces here with my stone. So let's just do that real quick. All right, that surface looks nice now. I might do it again before we reassemble. And I got to clean out this oil passage here with Q-tips and brake clean. And so there's still a lot of cleaning up to do. But it's pretty clean now compared to what it was. Like down in here, I got to get down in here and clean this all out with brake clean and Q-tips and all that kind of stuff. Just to get everything out of there so that when we reassemble, it's good and clean. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do this side and show you what it's done. Show you what it looks like when it's done. All right, you guys can see the edge is much better. There is evidence of there's screwdriver marks. I don't know if you can see them. That camera's picking up those screwdriver marks. If you remember when I got this, the side cover was off for the CVT clutch. He said he replaced the belt, but he never put the cover back on. And it looks like they got the cover off using a screwdriver because there's more. There's nicks and gouges around this. It's okay because all this cover does is keep dirt and water out of the transmission so the belt doesn't slip. So I don't usually like to use RTV or gasket maker when I'm putting together machines. I like to clean them up and just use them dry. But I'm probably going to use a little bit on this just so water doesn't get in there. Now what I got to do is, because they ran the engine for as long as they did with no cover on the side here, all these screw holes are all full of stuff. So I'm gonna run a tap through all these. Just give you an idea of how much stuff is in there. Look at all the stuff inside that tap. And I'll show you what that tap looks like. I clean it out. It's a spiral tap. And what it does is, see it all? It pulls the gunk out of the bottom of the hole. It doesn't push it down like a plug tap and cause more, you know, plug it up at the bottom so you can't get it out. This tap, because it's a helix, pulls the chips out of the hole, in the dirt out of the hole. So if you're ever cleaning out these holes, get a helix tap. They work the best. This is about as far as I'm going to go with this for now. All the screw holes are cleaned out. I blew them out with compressed air after I ran the tap through them, so those are all good to go. I also ran the wire wheel around these alignment pins. They had a little bit of surface rust on them. The other ones are fine because they were inside the case. It still needs more cleaning. I need to brake clean it, and I need to Q-tip a lot of the areas that are going to you know, receive bearings and bushings and all that kind of stuff. But for now, this is done. I'm going to set it aside. All right, let's go over a few things that we need to replace. This is the timing chain. I just want to show you guys this timing chain. You see what it's doing here with these half moons and stuff? And you can see that that's what you call when you bunch it up and you pull it apart, and it doesn't go straight without forcing it. And you can hear it actually snapping when I try to pull it straight. All right, if your timing chain is doing this, get rid of it. It's worn out and you're gonna end up having problems. You just get rid of it. There's no aftermarket timing chain for these machines. You have to buy from AutoCat, and it's about 80 bucks for the timing chain, which isn't cheap, but this is a necessity and you do need to get it. All right, let's go over a few other things now. Here's the clutch that I took out. Obviously, I got to get a new seal. The bearing doesn't seem bad, but when it was inside the machine and I rotated the shaft, it was growling. This is not a cheap bearing either. This thing's like 60 bucks, but I'm going to replace it. I probably could clean it up and put it back in. I mean, this is a low mileage machine. Only got 1,200 miles on it, but you know what? I got it out. It makes sense just to replace it. I don't want to take any chances. So that's going. Now the clutch itself, you can see here that these fibers are right down on the metal. You can see it right there. It's right down on the metal. So this clutch is worn out and no good. Needs to be replaced. Now, there's two ways you can go about it. You can buy an entirely new clutch. This is the wet clutch, primary clutch that's inside the motor. You can buy an entirely new one. They're like, you could buy a Chinese knockoff for like 100 bucks, or you could buy one from AutoCat and spend 350. Actually, I think it's more like 400. But anyway, they also sell a rebuild kit where you take these pins out and you can change the clutch material, and they give you new springs. So you replace the springs and the clutch material, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to rebuild this. So that'll be in an upcoming video. I just got to get the parts for it. Now, this is the shaft drum. Unfortunately, there's no knockoffs for this. So you either buy brand new from AutoCat, and this is God, I think this is $400 itself, maybe more. I forget what it was when I looked it up, but I know it was very, very expensive. Even the used ones are like $300. But as you can see inside there, this thing is just grooved out really bad. And I am not putting this back in. And to buy a new one, that means I'm going to have to get this seal in here, and this seal is hot as a rock. So that was probably causing oil feed problems. So I'm going to replace the seal. I tried finding the used one, but it seemed like all the used ones had grooves in them too. So it looks like I'm going to have to bite the bullet and buy a new one. And I really wasn't looking forward to spending an extra $400 just for this thing. But it is what it is. We need it. So I got to order more parts. That's it for today. It's cold. I got to get ready for a snowstorm that's coming. It's our first snowfall. Actually measurable, plowable snowfall for the year up here in the Northeast. It's going to hit later tonight and all day tomorrow. So I got to get ready for that. I got to get my ATV ready with the plow. I got to gas everything up, snow blower, all that stuff. So I'm calling it quits on this video. You guys can see all the parts that I need to order. I got parts coming in. I have all the top end parts now, so that'll be in the next video. So if you want to see that, subscribe and hit the bell notification so you get notified when that video posts. It's going to be a good one. And as you can see here, put the light on. You can see that we have the side cover off. That's all cut, all done. What I'm going to do is I still have to stone all the edges in here and clean that all up. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it as is. I think I'm gonna leave it open when I put the top end on because it'll be easier to put in the timing chain and all that stuff. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging in there. I know there's a long gap between videos, but holiday season, you guys know how it is. So again, thanks for watching, and we got some more content on this Arctic Cat right here coming up, and yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching.